What are you doing in my swamp? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Cowboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1980 movie Urban Cowboy. So in this movie, John Travolta plays a young man named Bud who moves to Houston to work at an oil refinery with his uncle, and every night after work he goes to this bar called the Gillies, which is named after the famous singer Mickey Gilley, who actually is in this movie as well. And that's where he meets Sissy, a young woman played by Debra, who he instantly has a connection with, and after a short time they end up dating and get married. And not too long after they get married and stuff, they're starting to get used to their daily lives and stuff, but they're having trouble keeping their trailer clean and keeping things done. But their relationship kind of starts to fall apart and everything. He ends up hitting her and kicking her out after she and him have this big heated argument, and she ends up going and dating one of the guys that is like a rival to Bud at Gillies. His name is Wes. He's like an ex-convict who is running the bull ride thing at the bar, and they compete and stuff. And throughout the whole movie, they're pretty much just trying to make each other jealous. Bud is with a woman named Pam, and they're trying to make each other jealous. And Pam and Wes are trying to keep Bud and Sissy apart throughout most of this movie and everything. They don't know that they still like each other and want to make amends and stuff. Neither one of them will swallow their pride to do it. But as the movie goes on, of course, you know what's going to happen. That Bud has the big competition with Wes and everything. Wes ends up being really, really abusive to Sissy, like way worse than what Bud was and everything. He like really messes her face up and stuff at the end of the movie, and Bud ends up finding out and beats the crap out of him. Pretty much he's like, okay, you're my woman, the only person allowed to beat you is me. No, I'm kidding. He did do a big apology and stuff, and they made up, so I'm guessing, and I'm hoping that maybe he never beat her again. It's hard to say, but yeah, so that's pretty much the story of the movie. You know how it's going to end. They end up getting back together, but this is I really like this movie. I think it's pretty good. It is one of my favorite John Travolta movies. That from when I first started getting into his stuff, this was one of the first ones I ever saw, and I've always just really liked this one a lot. Part of it, I think, is because I'm a huge country music fan, and this movie has some really, really great music in here. A lot of the songs in this movie are just absolutely great, and you get some cameos and stuff. Like I said, Mickey Gilley's in here, and he cameos from Johnny Lee and Charlie Daniels as well, so that's really cool. And everything. I actually ordered the soundtrack on CD when I was watching the movie, because I've always wanted to get the soundtrack, and I found it on eBay, so I ended up ordering it. But I think the cast in here are really great. John Travolta is really great as Bud. I think he really fits the role really well. And I kind of feel like it's kind of underrated. Like people acknowledge that this movie exists and stuff, but they don't talk about it as much. Like most people talk about like the music and stuff of the movie, and like how it kind of revolutionized the country music industry and the country nightlife and stuff, and brought attention to Gillies and the bar life and stuff. But it didn't. They don't really talk about like the performances and stuff, and I think that John Travolta was really great, and Debra was really great too, and the two of them had really good chemistry and stuff. I really wish that they would have actually been in the movie together more, because like most of the movie they're split apart from each other. But I think they're all great. Scott Glenn plays Wes, and while I absolutely hate Wes and think he's a terrible character, Scott Glenn did a really good job playing him and everything. The only thing that was kind of unbelievable, though, is at the end when Bud beats him up. I just can't really see Bud being able to beat Glenn up that easily. I know he caught him off guard and stuff, but you would think that the way Glenn is built and stuff, like he looks all muscular and stuff, and John Travolta is really tiny compared to him, so it's kind of unbelievable that he would beat him up. But then again, I guess he was really, really mad, so maybe he just let his anger get the best of him and was able to do it. But I did think that was kind of silly. Madeline Smith plays Pam, and she is really good looking. She's like absolutely gorgeous. I honestly could completely get why Bud would want to be with her and everything. But Debra Winger is gorgeous too. They're both really good looking, and but Pam is a kind of likable character, and she kind of redeems herself at the end of the movie, unlike Wes does. Now I thought that was kind of cool. She kind of does redeem herself. She admits the wrong that she did by not showing Bud the letter that Sissy had wrote and everything after she'd gone to their house and cleaned it up and everything, and she had taken credit for it. She admitted to that and everything. So I thought that was cool that she kind of at least did redeem herself a little bit, and I think Madeline Smith did a good job playing her. I think James Bridges' directing is really good. It just works perfectly for this movie, and the cinematography and stuff in here is just perfect for this type of movie. And there's some really great moments in this movie, like some really great scenes, especially the scene when Bud is hanging from the tower at the oil place, and you think he's gonna die and stuff. I think he was hungover from the night before and stuff, and tired from being up so late, and that scene was just really intense and stuff. Every time I watch it makes me intense, and also makes me nervous, because when I'm at work and stuff, I have to be up on a high ladder. Sometimes it makes me like, oh god, what if that were to happen to me? Only thing I know is I would be covered in poop for sure. But yeah, that scene was really great, and like the scene after Bud's uncle dies in the refinery, that whole scene is really good and stuff, like really great acting from John Travolta in that scene. But the scene when they're at the funeral and stuff, at the end of the funeral, and Sissy goes up to him and talks to his mom and stuff, and she talks to him, and you can tell she's trying to reconcile with him, but his pride isn't letting him accept it and everything. It's a really good moment and everything in the movie, and then you see her crying, and her performance in that scene is just really great. And like the bull riding scenes and stuff, it's a lot of fun to watch. It's a really, really well made movie, and has some really great moments in here, and like the scenes when they're dancing to the music and stuff is good too. I thought that was kind of cool. I know a lot of people pretty much said this was a country version of Saturday Night Fever, except it's more about the bull riding than the dancing, but it does still have some dancing in it, because John Travolta's, I'm pretty sure, is a professional dancer too and stuff, so a lot of his movies have dancing in it at some point or another. But I really like this movie quite a bit, and like I said, I love the music in here, especially the use of the song Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places by Johnny Lee. I just absolutely love that song. It's been one of my favorite songs ever since I was a kid, and they play this song quite a bit throughout the movie. It's kind of like the love theme for Bud and Sissy, so I think I really enjoyed that. And they don't play the full song until the very end of the movie, like right as the movie's ending and going into the credits. But I always enjoy hearing the song in the movie, and of course The Devil Went Down to Georgia's in here. I love that song, and Mickey Gilley and Johnny Lee did a version of Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys. That one was really good. And it just has a lot of really good songs in here. Can I Have This Dance for the Rest of My Life? That one was a really good one. I just really enjoy this movie and its music and stuff. And the plot isn't like super deep or anything, but it's just one I always enjoy and everything. It doesn't have a lot going on in it. You pretty much know what's going to happen by the end of the movie, but it still is just I always enjoy it and everything. So I'd say I'd give Urban Cowboy an 8 out of 10. It is a really good movie. I don't know if I'd say it's one of John Travolta's very best, but it is one that I always enjoy watching and everything. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of this movie, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.